Krampus content here, y'all, aka Jim J, aka J Lutch, aka the best in the business. I'm here talking about are the Eagles cooked? I beg to differ. I've been rolling around in these YouTube streets, seeing who say what, but I don't think it's over for the Eagles. They got 5 games left. Everybody wants to fire Kevin Basile, which he should be fired at the end of the season, but I don't know if that firing him right now is the right move. But it's up for discussion. Tell me what you think in the comments, and join the YouTube, like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, J the Legend Sports. Now let's continue with the conversation, cause this is crazy. The Eagles stay in a predicament. Jalen Hurts did have a bad game, but it wasn't all on Jalen Hurts. I seen the play calling being the biggest problem, and also the defensive line, the defense not be able to stop the run. Couldn't stop the run. They forced the turnover. Jalen Hurts had the offense in the red zone when after Jalen Hurts made a stop, but they couldn't convert because it was a combination of things: penalties, turnovers. And I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts had a great game, because he had a terrible game. But what overshadowed that was how terrible the offensive line was, and how terrible the play calling was. And they wasn't getting no push up front when they ran the ball. We couldn't run the ball at all. And that speaks more on Sirianni and Kevin Basile. And even after allowing almost 300 in rushing yards on the defense, we know Fangio, he'll be all right. Because that wasn't really on Fangio. That was more on the players on the defensive side. That wasn't on Fangio. Because we know more like Fangio going to have a defense ready. But Sirianni had the offense ready. And that was the biggest problem. And Kevin Basile, he's not even an average play caller. He's a suspect play caller at best. He's mediocre. He's trash. And we seen Jalen Hurts under experienced play callers. They went to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts never looked that bad under any coordinator he's been under. He didn't even look that bad under Brian Johnson. Kevin Basile is the problem. It's not Jalen Hurts. This man went to 2 Super Bowls. Everybody keeps saying it's Jalen Hurts. No, it's not Jalen Hurts. This man, the Super Bowl MVP, 2-time Pro Bowler. He was an All-Pro. It's not him. It's Kevin Basile. And tell Kevin Basile he got to go. If he's not going in the middle in while we in this stretch, then he's got to go after the season. He's got to go. He's got to go. And how things are going, if he got this spotty play calling in the playoffs, we gonna be done. We're gonna probably be 1 or 2 done in the playoffs. We're gonna probably be one and done in the playoffs. If we don't correct this spotty play calling, it just it's crazy on the offensive end. We can't run the football. We can't. We don't got no continuity in throwing the football. And the Bears game was worse than the Cowboys game. The Cowboys game, at least we moved the football. We couldn't even move the football. We couldn't run the football in the Cowboys game, but at least we was moving the football. This game, we couldn't even put up 21 points. That's how bad it looked. It looked horrible. It looked it's terrible. And you're trying to win the Super Bowl like that? No. We got to make some changes. Something got to get. Something got to get. Then something got to get. But it's crazy. But Kevin Blue, he got to go. He do got to go. After the season, he got to go. Sure, I'm tempted to fire him in the middle of the season, but he got to go. He got to go. But this Eagles team, if we don't get it together on offense, we ain't gonna go nowhere in the playoffs. Cause those are the defense is getting tired. They look like they getting gassed without running the football. But we gotta make some changes. We gotta get certain things together. But it's crazy. Cause you still got 5 games left. We still first place in NFC East. We should not be able to see Cowboys be able to make a run. Cowboys on their what they got like 4 or 5 wins on the season. They still 3 games behind us. We still be able to run the table and still be able to win out. To win our division. And then we should be able to win out to win our division. But it's a lot we gotta fix because I'm not, and like I'm saying, I'm not excusing Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had a terrible game, but I don't even remember Jalen Hurts only having three bad games all this season. Where he threw for under 65% completion of his pass. Usually he throw for 70%. 70% is usually the key number. He played good. Like even in the Dallas game, he threw for what 73% completion percentage. He played good in that game. He wasn't the reason they lost that game. They lost that game because penalty and turnovers with the Cowboys. This game, eh, it was too many. It was penalties and Jalen Hurts. It was part of the reason why, but the biggest reason why they lost the game is more on the penalty. And even with the rushing yards and giving up that many rush, we still didn't lose the game because of that. We lost the game because of turnovers and penalties and and bad play calling. That's what we lost the game on. Penalties, turnovers, and bad play calling. That's what we lost the game off of. And you can't shoot yourself in the foot. And usually from Jalen Hurts, we don't get that for Jalen Hurts, and we don't excuse Jalen Hurts' bad play because he played bad. When I say somebody played bad, I say they play bad. If they play good, you give them credit. Usually Jalen Hurts usually play pretty good, but this is more than about Jalen Hurts. The offense didn't flow. Even when in the past when Jalen Hurts had bad games, the offense still looked like it was flowing. But in this game, the offense wasn't flowing, and Jalen Hurts had a bad game, and the offensive line was terrible, and the offensive line been terrible all year, except for maybe two games where they were decent, but they've been terrible all year. Yeah, they've been terrible all year. But Eagles gotta do something. They definitely gotta do something. They got to do something because something something gotta give. Something gotta give. Some something gotta give. And we gotta find some answers. And I said the biggest answer would be finding the coordinator. But I don't think Nick Sirianni gonna fire him. So they gotta make some adjustments. They either got 5 or 2 or make some adjustments. That's the only way I can say it. They gotta make some adjustments. And they gotta do something fast. And they got a whole week. They got until Monday night going against the Chargers. And then after that, I think they got the Raiders. And then the Commanders twice. But they got to make something happen. They got a whole week to make something happen. They actually got 10 days to make something happen. Make the adjustments. But that's adjustments they need to make. Cause how things going right now, like they end up gonna be one and done in the playoffs. And you don't want to slide. You don't want to get Dallas the division again like they did in 23. But we would have to lose out to get Dallas the division, and I don't see us doing that. 'Cause I think we could still beat Buffalo. I believe we could beat the Raiders. I believe we could beat the Chargers. We definitely could beat the Commanders. But it is in the game Sunday. We gotta come out to play. Cause we need Jalen Hurts to be sharp. We need Patulo to call the plays how they supposed to play. You know he's been horrible all year, except in 2 games where he actually called a good game, like in the Vikings in the Giants game, in the second Giants game. But yeah, they gotta make the adjustments. They just do. But like I said, it's the NFL. They suit up to play like everybody else. They gotta go go in there with a game plan and exploit the matchups and execute. And they wasn't executing. You can't turn over the football. You can't be under penalties, and that's definitely on coaching and not being disciplined. Can't be causing penalties, and at the end of the season, they definitely need to make some changes. But like I said, I don't think the Eagles is cooked, but they got a chance to clinch the division and get a home wild card Cause the Bears got the tiebreaker now, and they should have beat the Bears, but it is what it is. They gotta just win out and hope for the best. But this is the Crown Prince of Content signing out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.